Well, good evening, my beloved Beyond the Call of Duty friends and family, and good evening to my EOW family. I really love the 30-second countdowns. I had to do it a couple of times because it reminds me of snowflakes. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have any sponsors. Oh, Lord. It's Friday, February 10th, 2023, and it's me again. Just a few days away from Valentine's. So please, if you've got a loved one, make sure you take care of them. Get them something decent, nice plant that you can keep alive, some flowers, some beautiful chocolates. Make sure again this next week, please light a candle or something to remember our beautiful survivors that are alone without having their loved one to celebrate Valentine's. Just to keep them in our memories, in our thoughts, in our prayers. It's been a busy couple of weeks. I apologize for not getting on last Friday. We've been running personal stuff, but also trying to really get this organization figured out on how we're going to keep on doing what we're doing. And so last Friday, I was in a couple of meetings, couldn't do the live. And poor Allison, I reached out to her too late. She went through a surgery, so she's recovering right now, her shoulder. And we need her well enough to get back. She postponed the surgery last year just because of the ride and didn't want to be off the bike. And knowing this year we were not doing the ride, she's back. She agreed to the surgery, and so she's in recovery mode now. And she'll be 110% ready to get back on the saddle and be able to ride again and all of that good stuff. So a lot's happened in the last couple of weeks. We've lost a number of officers, unfortunately, and we'll talk about them shortly. Some fun stuff has happened as well. I was contacted by a young lady a couple of days ago, and just pulling it up here right now. Her name is Sunny Perry, and she's with the First Responder Benefit Association. And she's actually based out of Colorado. So I'm going to reach out to our Colorado families and survivors, and also our Colorado departments. Ironically, she, was reaching out because their organization is very similar, with the exception of obviously they don't do the ride, but their whole goal is to keep our loved ones, keep our the memories and everything about the loss of these beautiful men and women that selflessly gave their lives in the line of duty, and keeping their memories going, reminding the survivors and making sure the survivors remember that their loved ones will never be forgotten. In addition to obviously raising funds, we had a very, very lengthy conversation, actually 2 days in a row, on stuff that we've done and what Beyond the Call of Duty's done, why the ride's not happening, and I'll get to that, why the ride's not happening this year. We've had some questions back and forth from some survivors, and I just want to clear the air on a few things. So, I explained how we are extremely heavily involved. I fell in love with Tunnels for Towers after finding out their mission and actually running into survivors that had been contacted by Tunnels for Towers and had their mortgages taken care of and personal stuff taken care of. And so when we ran into Michelle in Idaho, who's our point of contact with Tunnels for Towers, absolutely fell in love with what they're doing, and our mission aligned, and we are supporting them heavily and doing whatever we can to make sure that Tunnels for Towers is kept alive. And so when Sunny and I were talking, and we're going to have more talks, and there's a lot more stuff, we're going to be sharing stuff back and forth, mainly our contact list for all the survivors. Sunny wants to talk to our survivors, and I'm going to ask our survivors, please give her a few minutes. Let her tell you what she's doing. I'm not going to spoil what she's doing. I really believe again in making sure that your voice is heard. Just like we ask you to come on our Friday nights, whoever wants to get on can let us know. We'll bring you on. We'll talk. We want to hear about your loved ones. We want to hear about your life. We want to hear about where you are now. We want to hear about everything. So Sunny's in the same boat. She's also interested in the departments. She wants to know how the department's handling things, and just a various number of things. So I will be talking more about her. We'll be adding her information onto our page, and then I'll be contacting all of our survivors. We're going to start with our survivors from Colorado first, and then move outwards. And I'll contact you, get permission, and then make sure Sunny can get a hold of you. If in the meantime you're listening to this, or you get a snippet of this, and it's okay for us to have Sunny contact you, please don't hesitate. Just email us. Let us know. Allison, myself, just a couple of Jen or somebody, we will forward it to Sunny and make sure she contacts you. A couple of weeks left for the Blue Line Bear Gala. I don't know if I've got an image of it. I thought I had one. I'll find a quick banner for the Blue Line Bear Gala. It's set to go off in a couple of weeks, and I won't be there, unfortunately. Sorry. I want to clear up a few questions. We a couple of years ago, we had met Blue Line Bear and Megan and the organization, and one thing that was missing was the ability to bring survivors to this gala. So our motive has always been what to do and what can we do for survivors and keep their memories alive. So we had committed to helping bring more survivors this year than the last gala. And we committed to doing that in advance. And we lost funding for the ride, but we had budgeted stuff for the gala. And so please, for those survivors that feel that or have heard we lost funding for the gala, that's not the case. We had set aside money for the gala. So the ride itself is what has been changed, because we did lose funding for the ride. And we have lost sponsorship, but we're carrying on slowly. We have a new plan in place. We're going to do the ride every 2 years, but every 2 years we're going to do the ride for 2 years. So the officers from last year that we would have been honoring this year are going to be honored next year with the officers that we would be honoring next year from this year. So we'll have a double ride in one segment, and it'll be a little tedious on the strategic planning on the stops, but it's going to be very interesting. And again, there's pros and cons. It would be nice to have the ride this year, absolutely, but now my officers get talked about for 2 extra years. So these officers will be talked about the rest of this year and from last year and into next year. And then the officers that passed this year will be talked about all of next year into the next year. So there's, we just hope that we can extend who these beautiful men and women are and what they stand for, and that this badge that they wear and they carry on their chest is heavy. It's extremely heavy. That the uniform that they wear is full of honor, integrity. It's full of pride, and that not every officer is a bad officer, and that not every officer is a bad apple. As I've said many, many, many times, every profession has a bad apple. Oh, there you go. I just got that. So going back into Blue Line Bear, it's right up there. The gala is next on February 25th at Westin Cape Coral Resort. If you get a chance, I know they've got plenty of seats, plenty of chairs. Buy a ticket, get out there, meet some survivors, talk to them. Give them a hug. Let them know that you love them, and that don't say sorry. Just give them a hug. They'll know what it's about, and they'll know that it's about the survivors and their loved ones. So yeah, that's we lost funding, and we're struggling on getting sponsorship, but that's pretty much everywhere. And we're going to continue getting sponsorships and continue doing what we need to do. We will be out every weekend this summer, this spring, and into fall. We'll be doing our raffle on the 16th of September this year. We're planning on doing a big shindig, so we'll announce that in Spokane. But we'll be in the Northwest, everything from Washington, Oregon, Montana, to Idaho. So please watch for us. Please invite us on the weekends. We'd love to be at anything. Friday, Saturday, I'll be able to free away and break, and we'd love to bring our memorial, talk about stuff. We would love to meet families in the Northwest, and we would love to have families with us. So, well, let's go down real quick and talk about some of our losses for the last couple of weeks. I want to make sure that these men and women are not forgotten. And let's go. So we lost our beautiful officer. This is Supervisor Jacqueline Montario with the United States Department of Homeland Security. She's with the Border Protection Office of Field Operations, U.S. government. Her end of watch was January 14th, 2023, Saturday. And Supervisor Officer Montario died from injuries she sustained while trying to rescue her daughter from a fire in Hazlet, New Jersey. A fire broke out around midnight. Officer Montario evacuated her burning home with her husband and 8-year-old daughter. She re-entered in an attempt to rescue their 6-year-old daughter, who was still inside. Officer Montario was found unconscious, trapped inside with trauma to her arms and hands. She was transported to Koppelman Barnabas Medical Center, where she succumbed to her injuries at 1:40. The 6-year-old daughter did not survive the fire. She served with the United States Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection for 16 years. She was assigned to the Newark Liberty International Airport. She's survived by her husband, daughter, parents, grandmother, sister, and 2 brothers. Again, 16 years and doing the right thing of let's not run, but run into danger to protect and serve. And that's what she did. And unfortunately, God had a different choice, and God had a different calling for her. We've gone through Cairo, Georgia, and this is Master Patrol Officer Clarence Williams. His end of watch was January 28th, 2021. Master Patrol Officer CJ Williams passed away after suffering a medical emergency during a foot pursuit. He was assisting Grady County Sheriff's Department during a traffic stop on the 10th Street of Robertson Avenue. The subject fled the vehicle. The officers pursued. During the chase, Williams collapsed and he was unable to be revived. He served with the Cairo Police Department for 2 years, and just an amazing man. So, again, beautiful man, beautiful wearing that beautiful uniform, Master Patrol Officer. On January 31st, 2023, we lost Police Officer Gonzalez Carrasco Jr. of Selma Police Department, California. He was shot and killed at 11:45 a.m. on the 2600 block of Pine Street in Selma. While on patrol, Officer Carrasco was stopped by a homeowner who stated that a man was on her property. When Officer Carrasco investigated, the subject fired several shots, striking Officer Carrasco. The subject fled the scene. Officer Carrasco was transported to the Community Regional Medical Center where he succumbed to his wounds. The subject, a felon on probation, was arrested. A short time later, charged with murder, being a felon in possession of gun and ammunition and probation violation. Officer Carrasco served with the Selma Police Department for 2 years and was part of the Explorer program at Reedy Police Department. He is survived by his parents, brother, sisters, and girlfriend who's expecting their first child. I often say this, and as we look at least Master Patrol Officer and Officer Carrasco, laws are made for a reason. If the general public would just follow the rules, follow the laws. Why are you running and creating a foot pursuit? Why are we violating the laws of the state, which says you're not allowed to carry a gun without permit? You're a felon. You shouldn't even have a gun. Why can we not just enforce some of these laws a little bit stricter? Is always what I ask. So, on February 6th, 2023, we lost police officer Sean Salganski. He's with McKeesport Police Department in Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania is where some of our riders are from. We've got our Sean and Jim out there. So, police officer Sean Salganski was shot and killed while responding to a domestic situation, 1300 block of Grandview Avenue in McKeesport. Subject's mother called 911 reporting her son was having PTSD episode and was being aggressive. Officer Salganski and another officer arrived on the scene, attempted to contact the man. As he walked away, subject produced a handgun, opened fire, wounding both officers. Subject was also shot by returning gunfire and fled to a nearby convenience, where he exchanged shots with a third officer before being taken into custody. Officer Salganski was taken to a local hospital where he succumbed to his wounds. The other officer was critically wounded and flown to a trauma center. And the subject has been charged with criminal homicide, aggravated assault, assaulting a law enforcement officer, and criminal attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. Officer Salganski had served with the McKeesport Police Department for 3 years and previously served with Charlerio Regional Police Department. He's survived by his fiancée and infant daughter. Handsome man. And again, that was if anyone missed, it was going to be a February 6th, 2023 of this year. Police Officer Peter E.C. Jerving, Milwaukee Police Department, Wisconsin. End of watch is going to be Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Police Officer Peter Jerving was shot and killed while attempting to arrest a robbery suspect at 1:16 a.m. near the 2700 block of South 14th Street. Officers were looking for a suspect who had just committed a robbery at a nearby apartment building. The suspect fled on foot as officers approached him. One of the officers caught the subject, and a struggle ensued. The subject fired his handgun, hit. It struck Officer Jerving, who was running to the scene to assist. Despite being wounded, Officer Jerving was able to return fire and kill the subject. Officer Jerving was transported to the regional hospital where he succumbed to his wounds. Subject had been sentenced to probation for 2 hit-and-run crashes the day before. Officer Jerving had served with the Milwaukee Department for 4 years, was assigned to Police District 4. He is survived by his parents, 6 siblings, and a longtime girlfriend. Wow. February 9th, 2023. Police Officer Charles Herring, Pembroke Pines Police Department in Florida. Also, Charlie Herring was killed in a motorcycle crash near the intersection of 184th Avenue and Sheridan Street. He was on routine patrol when a falling piece of tree fell and struck him. The impact caused him to fall from his motorcycle. He was transported to the local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Officer Herring was a U.S. Army veteran and had served with the Pembroke Pines Police Department for 21 years. He had previously served with the Stark Police Department for 3 years. He's survived by his 3 children. What an amazing, amazing man. Again, I just look at all these beautiful men and women, and then realize they not only serve their departments with honor and integrity, but they also serve the United States military as an Army veteran, and then that was enough, and continues to serve. And you look at the years, most of them are senior officers. We do have 2-3 year veterans, but then they come from multiple departments as well. So very, very. I do want to do a shout out today. This is NYPD Officer Adid Fayaz. His end of watch was February 7th. This is not a line of duty death, but I just think it's important that we should still recognize the fact that he is a beautiful man. He's a first generation immigrant, and joined the police department to serve his beautiful country. He's 26 years old. He and his brother-in-law were trying to buy a SUV, and it was basically it was going to be a robbery, and the person pulled out a gun, fired it, and shot Fayaz right in the head. Fayaz is married and has 2 young children, and leaves 2 young children behind, and a beautiful wife. And so please, let's keep him in our thoughts and prayers. It was not a line of duty death, but still, he's still recognized by New York PD, and I think everybody should recognize as a brother is lost. We get the question quite often is, how do you call them brothers or how do you call them sisters? I believe that every single, for me or for most of the people I know, it's okay to call them brothers and sisters. It's in any line of work that you do, whether it's law enforcement or not. You always build a bond. I know that the local electricians union called themselves brothers and sisters. The local carpenters union called themselves brothers and sisters. Bricklayers, masoneries, and so it's okay to call them brothers and sisters and show them that respect. So, as we end tonight, please remember we've got a beautiful Pan America raffle is happening, and it's $25. Please reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to get tickets down to you. And all proceeds go to helping keep this beautiful organization on its feet and on the road. This organization is absolutely 100% employee free. Nothing from the organization pays any of the members that are a part of this. So we don't get paychecks or anything like that. So it is 100% volunteer. So let's take a gander at our comments today. Richard, good evening, buddy. How are you? Alison Jane Sylvester, hi. She says hi to Eddie, not to us. It's hi, Eddie. Heather says good evening. Good evening, Heather. And Eddie's replying to Allison. Hello, my friend. That I know who it is. Diane says hi, everyone. Hello, Diane. Happy Friday night from Yakima, Cynthia. Hello. Lou, happy Friday from Yakima. Sean, love you, brother. Tough week, yeah. And he was, absolutely. And again, I look at it where Sean, you may have not worked with him, but he's a brother right down the street from you. And losing one is too many, as I've said before. So our thoughts and prayers are for you as well, Sean. Anything we can do, please don't hesitate. Reach out to us. Charles, greetings, buddy. Love you. Eddie, thank you. I will pass that on to Sunny, and I was going to reach out to to Sean as well, because it's not only just survivors that are immediate families, but also survivors like Sean and Jim, and that want to talk about some of their partners that have been taken, and brothers and sisters. So I'll pass that message on. Thanks, Eddie. Good evening, Jerry. Jerry says hi, Sheila White Leslie. Eddie says hello, Sheila, my love. Jason, I love you, brother. Sorry for your loss this week from New York City. Please make sure you pass our condolences and our hearts and love and prayers to all of those beautiful men and women of New York City. Thanks, Jerry. Joel, good evening. Good evening to you. Yes, Eddie, I really, really think that if we can get the fiancés of all of these that I've talked about even today, if we've got contacts for anyone and that you know of, let's get it to Eddie. Eddie has a beautiful group, and his group would love to connect with the fiance and significant others. So let's really work together on this, and anyone that can pass these messages on, get it to Eddie Gomez. You can private message him. You can private message us. You can get a hold of us. We'll connect you with Eddie. This is all on you guys now. Cynthia, one too many losses. Yes. Bob Duke, thanks for sharing and memorializing our brothers and sisters. Your compassion for the lost and the surviving is unsuppressed. Oh, God. We don't talk about me. It's not about me. Thanks, Bob, though. So what else? It's again 7:20. It's Friday night. We're gonna put some special stuff as we progress. Our Eye in the Sky is gonna put a new 30 and 60-second startup in place of our sponsors right now. So we're gonna do some fun stuff and bring back some of these beautiful memories from last year's ride, and just do some slides and pictures and things like that. So but yeah, God bless all of you. Remember, Friday night, you're going out this weekend. First and foremost, if you see a Leo first responder, tell them you love them, and then if they will, give them a hug. Ask them first, please. Make sure that if you see any emergency vehicles on the road, slow down, move over, or just plain ass stop. Click it or ticket. Make sure you got that beautiful safety belt on. It'll come useful when you get hit or you hit someone. More importantly, no texting and driving. Put that phone down. Okay? Save someone's life. God bless each and every one of you. Put our survivors in your thoughts and prayers. All survivors, whether they are physically with the lost officers, or if they're just brothers or sisters. So put them in your thoughts and prayers. Keep them in your hearts. Light a candle on February 14th for all of them. So love you all. Bless you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you'd like to talk with me or talk live and share stories, just let us know. We'll put you on a Friday night and we'll invite you and talk about something, talk about nothing, talk about everything. It's up to you. So God bless you all and love you and good night.